哎，过年有拿到红包了？有啊！哎呦，太好了！过年红包没有？没有 ？No。OK， 弥补。我没有，我帐篷什么都没有。I don't have anything. My cave very little thing. I don't have envelope. 啊，去。The other nuns monk already New Year already have. This did not have. Doesn't matter New Year or not. We can always offer to the monks. Yeah, I offer all the time when I see them, not just here. I come down. 求保佑。Okay. There, thank you. 供养。没有多少，不過幾蚊錢。Đem về cho mấy ni sư khác. Okay. She already has, but I say I have one left extra, so for her to maybe some other nuns or monks need in Vietnam. Vietnam can always use, yeah. Monks and nuns anywhere can always use some money, okay? Even if they don't use it for themselves, they can always offer to other monks and nuns. They more poor, yeah? You okay? Good. Thank you so much. Wow, a lot of people. That's good. That means you like to practice. The hair is a trouble. I want to cut my hair, shave it like them. Convenient, but cannot. At the moment, cannot. Oh, also this for you. Drink, okay? Beer, cola, juice. All none together, OK？ 这个种厨房的，他们偶尔给我1个、2个，懂不懂？然后我就省下来，我不喝，我喝水而已。因为有时候要给工人啊，他们进来帮我修理，就给他们。不然的话，就今天有和尚给他们吧。I give it from my kitchen, and they bring me sometime 1 or 2. You know, I don't drink, I save it one side. And today, so I have a lot. Okay? Wow. And some little snacks, okay? And some noodles. In case hungry. Noodle. Here's a noodle. Put in the bowl. Hot water. Okay? In case. Oh! My God! I don't have any. 明天 Okay? Tomorrow. Together in case. 台湾很会照顾。台湾的和尚很会照顾。万一晚上不吃，饿了一点，肚子不舒服，痛啊，饿太多会痛，因为那个胃酸出来会痛，那就来泡一泡。也如果不想吃那个面，认为太多，万一晚上不吃，懂不懂？然后饿的就可以泡一泡，喝一喝 ，OK， 给那个肚子那个酸呢融化掉 ，OK， 就这样子了啊。这是我自己本人有一些，本人厨房有时候给，然后我省下来啊。本人有一些，因为对不起，不是不尊重，我狗啊喜欢那些点心那些，我不能给很多，偶尔给1次而已，偶尔给他们1次，这些没有动过啊。这个没动过性的才供养 ，OK。万一晚上我是下午了不想吃了然后就喝一喝保护肚子了。我们不是不受戒，就是有时候肚子的胃酸太多了，有时候老了，年轻的不一样，老了它不适应，肚子酸痛就会消在里面会消不舒服，要保养身体才能修行。佛菩萨会原谅的，没事。我们修行观音法 多打坐一点就洗掉，没事，我们没做什么坏的 ，OK 哈，Yeah， 因为当和尚不容易啊，因为你们都在外面都跑来跑去啊，赚钱了，就没有想到当和尚不一样 ，OK， 不能赚钱了，懂不懂？然后有时候不好意思去问人家，肚子痛又不能去厨房说，哎呦，我要喝东西，要吃东西，我们是不禁止了，就怕他们害羞不去，所以身边我有一些的在供养啊，没有多少了。就是我山东没有很多，有什么都带来了，OK， 多谢收容，谢谢，一点点，万一需要的时候放在一个地方，大家和尚都知道啊，需要就来拿一拿，随时都那个机器都有热水嘛，是吗？是，你们都知道哪里有热水吗？如果不知道，就叫他们一起去看，好吗？然后热水泡一泡啊，不然我喜欢喝热水，也是来那边喝热水。有时候不舒服，不想喝冷水嘛。OK， 我们不是要求，不是刁难了，就是身体嘛，它有时候不听话。OK， 那就不要那么严格。OK， 修行要紧，多打坐，多布施法了。多想那个天上啊。佛上就要紧，不是说这一点东西就那么很了不起的事情OK， 我们老身体不一样，像我知道我老了不一样，身体他有时候我说业障我不知道了。如果我一个人没有做什么，没人的，好久没有出去看什么重修之人的话，就没有那样这么复杂的，奇怪的都是奇怪的。怪病啊！你说什么？业障干净，你怎么知道？
我有经验，
看到多人就这样了，
对，
会被影响，是吧？
是，
所以一个人修行，一个人这样躲起来修行是最有福报的一个人。Yeah，OK， 梁延庆来了，我这样做，大家看得到。Okay, I read to you about why we practice Guanyin method. Okay? Yeah? Yes. D'accord? We should really thank the past masters, monks and nuns and scholars who have taken time to record the Buddha's teaching after the master's nirvana, and also for the past and present persons, lay or monks or nuns who have really dedicated themselves, sacrificed their time and precious health or under any difficult situation to translate this so that I can read it to you. And we have to thank them. And may they be blessed forever by all the Buddhas, past, present, and future. May their merit be immense. May they be liberated forever. Thank you. According to Buddhism and the believer and the tradition, when you read sutra and all that, you have to put on incense, flower, and bow to the sutra first and thank all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, all respectfully, before you read it, okay? And then you cover the sutra also with silk, beautiful cloth, and I just make it more popular. Yeah, more easy, simple. And I apologize to all the Buddha. I say if I done something wrong, according to the tradition, my heart is full of respect. It's just that I cannot always do that. So please, all the sin, whatever I've done wrong, is all on me. At least other people, they hear the names of the Buddha, according to the sutta, they will get benefit. Yes. Ananda. I just cut the upper, okay? That is upper one is no need to read to you today. Maybe another day is also very complicated. This is more like a more intellectual argument. Yeah? Okay. So now, Ananda and the great assembly gained wisdom and awareness that was perfectly penetrating and free of doubt and delusion. All at the same time. I mean, the Buddha has told them something before that, before this sentence. Therefore, they feel satisfied and enlightened, more enlightened. So, all at the same time, they placed their palms together, bow at the Buddha's feet, and he said to the Buddha, "Today, our bodies and minds are illumined, and we are happily free from obstruction." Just today, just part of it, not all obstruction. We have understood the meaning of the ending of the six and the one. Still, we have not yet gone through to fundamental, perfect penetration. World Honored One, we who have floated and floundered our way through eon after eon, homeless and orphaned, had no idea. We never imagined that we could meet with the Buddha in such a close relationship. We are like lost infants who have suddenly found their compassionate mother. Because of this, we accomplished the way in this assembly. Yet the secret words which we received are the same as our basic enlightenment, and so it is the same as if we hadn't even heard them. What he means by that, okay. The secret words, probably the Buddha at that time gave them the 5 holy names, yeah? So it's called the secret words. For us it's secret, so we cannot tell other people, huh? All right. Now, probably that day, the Buddha finally gave them this secret mantra, yeah, and teach them the Guanyin method. But because at that time, these monks were already under Buddha for a while, and they have somehow benefited from the Buddha's light and enlightenment. Therefore, even when the Buddha gave them the 5 secret words and initiation, they did not feel much different. That's why they say it's the same as if we have been already, feeling or seeing all this time, basic enlightenment. Therefore, it's like as we have not heard them complaining. We only wish the greatly compassionate one, meaning the Buddha, will bestow upon us the profound secret as the third come one's final instruction. They want more enlightening explanation from the Buddha. After saying this, he prostrated himself, Ananda, withdrew and held himself ready for the secret opportunity as he awaited the Buddha's hidden transmission. He still thinks Buddha still hides something. He's asking for more. Yes. So then, the World Honored One told all those in the assembly who were great bodhisattvas and great arhats, their outflows extinguished, mean they have no more this all kind of desire or nonsense thinking or anything that is make themselves lowly or obstructed themselves to the great way. I mean, they're already purified, yeah, to the absolute. They are arhat, they are bodhisattva, saint, great saint already. That means when they say no outflow, meaning nothing, they all concentrate inside now. They're within themselves. They are not distracted by outer alluring worldly scenery around them or anybody at all. Nothing can pull them outward anymore. So that means no more outflows, no more fault, no more sin, no more karma, no more thinking of anything that is not in the proper spiritual dimension. Yeah? So no outflows, that's what it means. It's difficult to translate. Of course, they translate it like that, but that's what I understood. So then, the world honored one, mean the Buddha, you know already, right? World honored one, mean Buddha, yes. Mean the whole world should honor him, not that they do, not that they did, just that they should. Meaning that he's the world most honorable being at that time, and no one else surpassed him. Okay, just like world-class teacher, Buddha. Now, then the world honored one told all those in the assembly who were great bodhisattvas, means saints, yeah, and arhats. Arhat is a little lower than bodhisattva, okay? Just one step lower, like 4th level and then 5th level, okay? Their outflows extinguished. He says thus, all of you bodhisattvas and arhats who are born from within my Dharma and have attained the stage beyond learning, I now ask you, the Buddha asks, when you first brought forth your resolve and became enlightened to the 18 realms, which one of these brought perfect penetration? Through which expedient did you enter samadhi? Okay, the Buddha had taught them different methods, or maybe they have just been enlightened by themselves through their own good karmic spiritually from the past life, or through their sharp faculty in that lifetime, or because the Buddha's blessing. So each one of the monks at that time, Buddha did not teach them immediately the ultimate method. Buddha did not teach them the Kuan method until that day, I guess. Maybe that's why he's explaining to them why you have to practice this one now, the Kuan method, that day. That's why it come about here now, okay? So the Buddha asked them, the assembly of the monkhood, who always has been following him a long time, or years or months, which method has brought you enlightenment, to begin with. So one by one, they will tell the Buddha now, okay? Yes. Not all Kuan method, okay? Actually, when the Buddha was alive, he taught us quite few methods, okay? And when Patanjali, one of the great Indian master, also taught his disciples quite different methods, okay? Oh, a lot of them, a lot of them. But we don't need all that. It's too confusing for you, and it's not so guaranteed. It's not so easy for busy life like today. And also because nowadays we are very, very much contaminated by so many things and so distracted. Therefore, Kuan method is easier for all of you. And at that time, even at that time, the Buddha will say the same. Okay? Now I will read on and you will know what I'm saying. Huh? The Kuan method I mentioned sometimes before already, like in Lotus Sutra, Buddha also say that. And other sutra also. And I say also in other religious sutra, they also mention here and there. I just say quickly when I go lecture. Yeah. But this is a more detail. Okay? One by one. I could tell you about, the Buddha already said that. Okay? So I'm going just to read it to you. It's more authoritative from the Buddha. You know, the Buddha, he took 250 plus precepts. He don't tell lie. Okay? It's written black and white. He would not teach you for what? He went out and begged for 1 meal per day. What does he want from you or anybody at that time? So what the Buddha said should be true. Okay, huh? Yeah. All right. Now, one of the bhikkhu, meaning one of the high monk. Bhikkhu is a monk. Bhikkhuni is a nun. Understand that? Bhikkhu is the name, Sanskrit name for fully precepted monk. 200多戒律，250哈，对，250, more or less, maybe some extra or some less, because later on the Buddha said to Ananda, after his nirvana, some monks could relieve some of the small precepts. For example, you don't take a bath more than once every 2 weeks. Well, Buddha said for such a precept you can overlook, because in some area too hot, but also a lot of water is okay. The reason that precept was there when Buddha was there, because they assembled together and so many monks, and at that time we don't have tap. You complain about water here, but you should know, if you live with the Buddha at that time, you probably can drink only every 2-3 days. You can take a bath only every 2 weeks. Too many, you know, and they don't have enough facility. So, of course, bath once every 2 weeks is okay. The Buddha don't know. He didn't even have to give me that precept. I don't have time to take a bath so often. You understand? If it's too bad, I just wipe, okay? Wipe myself, change clothes. For example, like that, yeah? Okay. Or maybe eat once a day only before noon, yes? But the Buddha said can relax. If you have to travel and you don't have the food on time, then you may take a food after that. For example, like that. Because if every monk go out begging all day, instead of one time a day, how do they have time to listen to the Buddha teaching? How do they have time to meditate? You understand that? Okay, at that time it's different. The Buddha knew that, so he said after his nirvana, some precept can be relaxed. It's like that, okay, huh? But I'm not going to go further on precepts, since you are no monks, and these reverends, they know already, huh? Okay. If you're not monks and nuns, you're not allowed to see the precepts. Actually, you should not know about it, okay? Maybe you know and then you don't keep it. It's bad for you. Your conscience already know it and you don't keep, you feel bad. Maybe you look down upon it, just say, wow, what nonsense. Yeah, and then you have bad karma. You understand? That is why only when you determine to leave home, leave the world in order to be a monk and nun, then maybe you're worthy to know about it. Then at that time your mind is somehow already fixed on this idea, and then you will just long to know the precept, how to be a monk. You will not think negative or anything. All right, so one of the bhikkhu, the monk, said to the Buddha, he and the other 5 bhikkhus arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet, and said to the Buddha. When 5 of them practiced the same method, I guess, so all 5 of them rose up first and told the Buddha what kind of method they did practice first, you know, to get some enlightenment. So this bhikkhu name is Kaundinya. It don't matter, okay? Kaundinya. The Sanskrit name, when it's translated into English, is already not very correct. And my accent make it worse. So it doesn't matter. One of the 5 bhikshus, and the first one probably the leader of the group, with others of the 5 bhikshus, arose from his seat. I told something in between, you know, instead of just read it on. Oh, you want me to read it on? Just, no, the Buddha say something and then Ananda answered, you want that? No, I have to explain sometime. Maybe I don't have to, but I just do. Maybe you know everything already, right?
I love it.
You love it?
Yes.
You love my calendar, right? The calendar. Okay, here come your calendar, yeah. And extra, yeah. So they rose. Kaundinya rose from his seat with the other 5 bhikkhu, bow at the Buddha's feet. A tradition in India, okay? When you want to pay respect or when you want to talk, you first stand up. Or if you already stand up, you bow to the teacher's feet, yeah, your master's feet, and with respect, yeah, and then you talk. Or when you come first, when you first see the Buddha, you come in his house, for example, see the Buddha, you bow to him as the feet. Yeah, touch the feet of the Buddha, put on your forehead like that. It's Indian tradition to pay utmost respect. Okay, that's all. All right. So now, and he said to the Buddha, when I was in the deer park, the deer park is when the Buddha also stayed there some time before and preached some Dharma, some teaching there, okay? And they were there, the 5 monks were there. When I was in the deer park and the pheasant garden, these are all in, India or Nepal, huh? Not here. I observed the thirst come one immediately after his accomplishment of the way, meaning when the Buddha first came out of the enlightenment, the first ever time, after practicing for 6 years, and then after sitting under the Bodhi tree, no eat, no drink for 40 plus days, and he became enlightened. Then he arose out of the Bodhi tree and he wandered around. Maybe he went to Deer Park and Pheasant Garden. And that's where he met these 5, the first 5. Actually, the story of these 5 bhikkhu, I probably told you before already. So I don't want to mention here, okay? They are the first one who get the Buddha's enlightening talk, yeah? When the Buddha preached the 4 Noble Truths, yeah. Anyway, okay, we have to cut some, otherwise my calendar become 2-3 years comprised together. Not just to the end of this year, but at the end of many other years, 2020, 2021, 22, 23. And if I haven't told you about these first bhikkhus under the Buddha's teaching, then I will probably remember it, or you remind me, then I will tell you in another time, okay? It's not much to us right now. It's not very important. So it's just that important that they were the first one and they the first rise up and told the Buddha which method they were practicing, okay? So they say that the thirst come one immediately after his enlightenment, accomplishment of the way, meaning he just got the complete enlightenment that day, or maybe just a few days ago. And then upon hearing the Buddha's voice, I understood the 4 Noble Truths. You know? What is the 4 Noble Truths? Anybody know? Except the monks. I told already. Didn't listen. Forgot. What is the 4 Noble Truths? What's the first Noble Truth? Yeah, all of you have it. I don't even need to tell you. We all have. What is? First one? I give you my cup.
The Dharma?
Oh, no. That's not the 4 Noble Truths. That's the only truth. Okay. Birth, old age, sickness. Yeah? Death. Okay. That's the 4 truths that nobody can escape. Okay? Right. Remember now? Yes. I keep my cup. Thank you. It's good that I didn't lose my cup. I like my cup. I'm very attached to my cup. The yellow, it look good. Okay, thank you for trying to reserve the cup for me. Very good of you. So, when this bhikkhu, Kaudinya, heard the Buddha's voice, he understood the 4 Noble Truths. The Buddha asked us, bhikkhus, to speak. I was the first to understand. And the thirst come one certified me and named me as Nata. His wonderful sound was both secret and all-pervasive. It was through sound that I became an arhat. Okay, so when the Buddha talked, he was the first one who understood. When the Buddha first preached the 4 Noble Truths to these first 5 people, first disciples, he understood immediately. So he thinks it's because of the sound of the Buddha voice that make him enlightened. Not because of the sound. It is the Buddha sound. It's different. Yeah? A complete, all-pervasive Buddha sound. His sound, that's why he said, his sound is not a normal sound like me talking to you. You need a microphone. And you don't even understand. Many times I keep asking you, what did I just say? Something about the Qing dynasty. Huh? Yeah. Or the world when you were not born, something, history. Okay. That's why I told you, don't listen to gossip, because even you stand here, sit here right in front of me, I use microphone, and even you understand English, you also did not hear nothing. I don't know where are your mind, but you did not. Not all of you understood. I don't know, what are you listening? What are you listening? Ah. Listen to you, Master. Yeah, that's what you say. And you did not listen to me. I don't know. You're thinking a boyfriend in Africa. New boyfriend. Or maybe would be, will be boyfriend, future boyfriend. Future wife. I don't know. Because I asked you today also, you did not say answer correctly. I wonder. That's why I said to you, don't listen to people talk, especially negative things about other people. Even if you hear it, even with your own ears, or see with your own eyes, things are not the way it look like, or seems like, yeah? It could be wrong. You could be wrong. Some criminals, so-called criminals, went to prison for nothing, because a witness say that it's him. But it wasn't him. Maybe look alike. Maybe the witness see it wrong. Maybe he thinks wrong. Maybe at that time he was drunk and seeing double. Who knows? Okay? So some prisoner went there, let's say wrongly accused, and even died. Have death penalty. That's why some countries, they abolish completely death penalty to avoid this unfortunate, event, unfortunate things happen to innocent people. So he said because of the sound that he became arhat. But you have to listen well. Listen, yeah? Listen well. He said that the Buddha sound, his wonderful sound, the voice, was both secret and all-pervasive. It was through sound, but this is different sound. You see that? All-pervasive and secret. How can that be? How can that be secret when the Buddha was preaching? Anybody know the cup is going? Nature in Buddha. At that, in the sound, no. He hear the Buddha sound. He said the Buddha was preaching, you see, because the Buddha was preaching the Four Noble Truths, and he was listening. He heard it and he understood it. But it was both secret and all-pervasive. You always make me look like a wise person. You always force me to tell you the answer. Why is that? Okay. Since I have no choice, I pretend that I know. All right? And you just have to take it because you don't answer me. So you have to take whatever answer I give because that's what I knew, okay? I guess when the Buddha was preaching, because Buddha just came out from enlightenment, with all this energy in him, conserved all these 6 years and 40 days intensive meditation. He just came out. So the whole beings of him is full of blessing, Buddha power, light, and wisdom. Incredible at that time. So these 5 lucky bhikkhus, practitioner, got it all. At least as much as they can absorb at that time. So when the Buddha was preaching, he entered samadhi then. You understand what I'm saying? He still hear one side from the Buddha's worldly voice, but inside he also hear the Buddha in all 10 directions then. Because when the Buddha says something, it's not just the humans that hear, the animals hear them. The devas from heavens hear them. The ghosts, all the ones hear them. It's all in the 10 directions. It reverberates all over everywhere. And only when you're in samadhi, you hear it. It's different then. But because he's in samadhi, so he can hear both half from the Buddha voice physically and the inside, the true Buddha's voice. Therefore he thinks, okay, that's what enlightenment was. I was enlightened because I hear the Buddha's voice, which is secret and all-pervasive. Secret because he heard it inside and all-pervasive, as if only the Buddha was only whispering to him. Because he see nothing at that time anymore. He hear nothing else. He don't see the other 5 bhikkhus. He don't see anyone else. He doesn't see anything. Only Buddha and him. Only the Buddha's voice. That's why he say it's secret. But then it's all over, everywhere in the 10 directions he can hear. Because he opened his ear at that time. You see, the Buddha blessing make it happen like that. Yeah? In the presence of the Buddha, many wonderful things happen. So this is what happened to him. And he thought, wow, because the Buddha is preaching, I got enlightenment. You understand now? Yes. Take it or leave it, because you don't have other a wiser answer for me. No? All right. Moment. Or maybe I just sit on the table, huh? Yeah, sit on the table. Now I can sit like a Buddha. Oh. Thank you. Please. Okay, so the Buddha asked us about perfect penetration, as I have been certified to it. Sound, voice, voice, is the superior means for him. Is it? What if you don't have anybody ever talk to you? What if you stay in the jungle? Only animal or bird singing. How would you get enlightenment then? Huh? See? Okay. But the Buddha will tell you later. I'm not saying, no, I'm not saying, oh my God, I forgot. I told the end of the movies. Oh, but that's just one. There are many more to come. Okay, so now another bhikkhu. Whoever stayed with the Buddha at that time are only bhikkhus. Okay, not bhikkhuni. Bhikkhuni come later. Nuns come later. When his mother, the stepmother came and begged him for becoming a nun to follow him, that's when the nuns began. Before, Hindu don't have any nuns because it's inconvenient. They think the woman in India cannot go out without any other man or family member, understand? Otherwise they'll be looked out upon and harassed or molested. And still nowadays. Less, of course, less, yeah? Less than before, yeah. They're more liberal now. But in some remote area, maybe such custom still prevail. And any woman go alone is a no-no in India. It's not respectful. So, at that time, whoever stay, even if I don't say it's a monk, you should know it's a monk, okay? Because here it doesn't say a monk Upanishad. It just say Upanishad. Then you should know he's one of the monks. Whoever stay with Buddha at that time, Buddha don't have house, Buddha don't have food for you, don't have nobody cook for you there. So if you want to stay there, you have to be a monk. Meaning you go out, beg for your own food, take care of yourself. Buddha don't do any physical caring for his monks. Yeah, everyone take care of themselves. It's easier, okay? Yes. And maybe the lay people come now and then, occasionally or whenever, then they bring food to offer to Buddha also, and then they probably bring their own food or cook for them. But not the Buddha who has to take care of all that. Not like your poor master here. Okay, a lot of work because I have to take care of small things, small things. Even if the disciple builds, I have to instruct and take care, that is done well, for example. I'm not complaining, I'm just telling you, your poor master is really poor. Every little thing takes time. Don't tell me that, oh, it's just a little job. Why master say that? A lot of little jobs, okay? A lot of little jobs, even for dogs, how they have to be comfortable, where, it's a new place, and many things are not as ready as in an old place. Okay, but I'm very happy, okay? I'm not complaining anything at all. Just a lot of work. Right, so now there's another bhikkhu come up telling the Buddha what method he practiced. The first one is the voice, see? The Buddha's voice, okay. Now Upanishad arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet, and said to the Buddha, I also saw the Buddha when he first accomplished the way. Probably these are the first disciples. So they take turn to stand up and tell. First come, first talk. That's why first the Bible, and then now it's Upanishad, because he's also one of the first. Maybe not together with the five, but maybe second first, you see? So they come one by one. Upanishad say, I also saw the Buddha when he first came out of samadhi, of the perfect enlightenment accomplishment. I learned to contemplate the appearance of impurity until I grew to loathe it and came to understand that the nature of all form is unclean. Bare bones and subtle dust all return to emptiness, and saw both emptiness and form are done away with. With this realization, I accomplished the path beyond learning. The third come one certified me and named me Upanishad. The object of form came to an end, and wonderful form was both secret and all-pervasive. Thus it was through the appearance of form that I became an arhat. The Buddha asked us about perfect penetration, as I have been certified to it. Form is the superior means. What means form? Like you are a form. He is a form. I am in the form of a human. Or any other thing here has a form, okay? Air doesn't have form. Water maybe don't have. But these have form, okay? And so these 5 bhikshus and this Upanishad bhikshu also have been certified by the Buddha. Certified meaning when they told him about their experience, yeah, and the Buddha said, yeah, that's that. You have been in samadhi. You are at level of arhat now. Congratulations. Buddha first came out of enlightenment. I would also like to be there. Taking in all this blessing, you understand, power, and I love, When Buddha first come out, it's so generous, you understand me? Whoever come, take it. And he has no worry about karma or nothing at that time from disciple. But even then later on, he has karma, because more disciples come, more karma accumulated. And even the Buddha cannot digest it immediately if it keep repeating and coming and not enough time to erase. Just like if you are very dirty, take a few shower, longer time to clean. If you just sweat a little bit, just a little soap or even no soap, you rinse it out. When it's accumulating, if you've been working all day in the hot sun, in the dirt, in cement, in the rock and all that, then of course you're more dirty. And all day, and not just a few minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours, different, same. The Buddha, when he first came out, no problem. By the way, I told you these 5 first bhikshu are very bad. They were taking Buddha's blood before, many former lives. You remember now, okay? So that doesn't mean they are good or angels or anything. It's still bad karma, and not very good, But the Buddha took them in, no problem. He didn't feel nothing. And another one, Upanishad, came, also no problem. A few more, no problem. But in some time later on, normally Buddha don't mention much about his taking karma or anything, or no, not too much mention in the sutra. But one time something leaked out, like because of the disciples' karma, he has no food to eat for 3 months. He has to take horse feeding, horse food. Just one sentence that we can understand now, leaking out some secret, that the Buddha also took the karma from disciples. And mostly also in the Bible, like Jesus, nobody mentioned that. Jesus also don't say take karma or anything. He said, come to me, you heavy laden. I will, uplift you, quicken you. But then later, in 1 or 2 sentences, they say, because of disciple karma, he has to be crucified. No need to say a lot. Then we know that it's all the time, just one time. If it mentioned one time, that means all the time, often, So the Buddha, at that time, it just came out, powerful, strong, don't have disciple, just 1 or 2, or even 2 dozen, 200 is a piece of cake for him. Later on, 2,000, 200,000, or maybe more. Then he crumbled, just for a little bit.